Is online arbitrage in 2025 dead? Well, online arbitrage used to be the easiest method to get started selling on Amazon. You generally buy low from retailers, whether you're using discount coupons, sales, offers, or discounted gift cards, to then sell on Amazon for recommended retail price, or sometimes slightly above that, depending on the demand of the product. For example, if you're selling seasonal products, you can get away with selling your products for a lot more than they are listed on other retailers. And that is because of the demand. If all the other retailers are sold out, then where are the customers going to get their products apart from Amazon? And if they want them that badly, they will pay the inflated price. But in 2025, with tighter selling restrictions, stricter ungating, and automation everywhere, is it still worth it? Spoiler alert, yes it is. It certainly isn't dead. But lazy people and outdated strategies definitely are. The thing with Amazon, it is forever changing. Selling today is very different to selling 5 years ago during COVID. If you were selling then, it was an absolute goldmine and there was money absolute everywhere. But as I said, it is forever changing. And if sellers don't keep up with the policies, then they will get left behind. So in this video, I'm going to break down 5 brutal mistakes which sellers today are still making and show you how to make a smarter, more profitable business using today's tools and tactics. What is online arbitrage in 2025 and what is different? So online arbitrage is buying discounted products from your online retailers like John Lewis, Sports Direct and Homebase to then sell them back on Amazon for a profit. And then what's changed in 2025? Well, gating is definitely getting a lot stricter. A lot of brands are gated for newer sellers, and I've seen certain brands which request an invoice for at least 50 to 100 units in order to ungate. I would not let this put you off though. There are still thousands and thousands of other brands which you are able to sell from day one. IP complaints, these are also getting more aggressive, and you need to be very careful with what brands you are selling on Amazon. If you do get hit with IP complaints, this will negatively impact your account health, which is something you want to avoid at all costs. Retailers like Tesco, Boots and Currys are also cracking down on bulk orders, so if you are purchasing from these sites, you need to understand methods and workarounds in order to get the most amount of units through without getting your orders cancelled. And Amazon is also cracking down on invoiceless purchases. And this is probably the most important thing I'm going to share with you in this video, is that you must purchase products where you can get a valid and legitimate invoice after purchase. This is so important. I see so many sellers, even still to the day, buying products where they cannot get an invoice from the retailer for whatever reason. And this is such a red flag. When you're buying a product on Amazon, you need to make sure you can get a valid invoice. Because if Amazon come knocking and ask to see this invoice, if you don't have it, then they're not going to be happy and you can get in a world of trouble. So whatever you do, if you start selling on Amazon or you're already selling on Amazon, make sure you can get invoices for every single one of your purchase. Some of the tools which are currently dominating the marketplace, so you've got SellerAmp and BuyWhat Pro. These two are very similar. They effectively do the same thing, and they are profit calculators, and they tell you how fast certain listings sell by giving you an estimated sales per month. And Keeper is the most important tool you're going to use if you're selling on Amazon, and it is an absolute necessity. If you do not use Keeper when you're selling on Amazon, you are effectively buying everything blind and you don't really know what you're going to get yourself in for. You must have Keeper. It is so important. So a tip for every single person who is watching this, if you're thinking of selling on Amazon, make sure you read Keeper and you understand exactly everything behind it and all the data it can provide you. Lastly, there are also loads of other tools you can use which help you source or even find profitable deals for you. If you are interested in any of those deals, then make sure you hit the bio below to join the Seller Smart Discord group, where we have some of the best tools on the market. So I was speaking to a seller recently and he bought 100 units of a particular brand to sell on Amazon. He sent those units in, and as soon as they became available, he got hit with an IP complaint from the brand and he could no longer sell those products on Amazon. Because of this, the seller has now had his account health affected and he has got 100 units which he can't even sell on Amazon. So what does he do with them? He's got a few choices. He can either liquidate them, which is not really something you want to do. He can sell them on eBay, or he can sell them locally, for example, on Facebook Marketplace. But we all know eBay and Facebook Marketplace doesn't have the demand that Amazon has. So now he has wasted a lot of time and he's tied up a lot of money until these products can be sold. All of this could have been avoided had he been using Keeper or SellerAmp, because they would have clearly told him that he should stay away from this brand and he shouldn't sell. So it is so important to make sure whenever you purchase anything to do the correct deal analysis and know exactly what you're buying and what you're going to get yourself in for. Now let's run through a step-by-step guide on what you need to do online arbitrage in 2025. Step 1, make sure you have the right tools. You want to use something like SellerAmp or Bible Pro. This is going to tell you your ROI, eligibility, and any restrictions as well. Make sure if you're using SaaS to have this connected to your Amazon Seller Central account, because this is going to feed you live gating info. Secondly, you need to make sure you have Keeper. Keeper is a necessity when you're selling on Amazon. If you don't use it, you are buying blind. Keeper can tell you all of the pricing history from the moment the listing was first created, and it can tell you exactly how many sellers were on this listing at any given time. Keeper is super important, and over the course of these videos you're going to hear me say this over and over again. Make sure you use Keeper, it is a non-negotiable. Step 2, sourcing products. So there's so many different methods of sourcing you can do. You can do manual sourcing, newsletter sourcing, Amazon to Amazon sourcing, storefront sourcing. You need to try and learn as many of these as possible and figure out exactly which one you prefer the best and which one makes you the most money. Once you figure that out, you can then hammer in and absolutely master that one sourcing method. And then once you've mastered that, you can then jump onto another one and add that to the mix as well. Then you want to get some automation in your life. Then check out Seller Smart, because we've got so many different tools in there, and some of them can even help you find profitable products while you sleep. Now you want to start using cashback sites like Top Cashback and Complete Savings. So sourcing is the highest ROI activity you're going to do in your business. So when you're sourcing, you need to make sure you're getting your product for the cheapest price possible. So you want to be able to stack as many discount codes, cashback, and gift cards on there as possible so you can get the best possible price against your competition. Step 3, vetting products. So this is where you want to check Keeper. Is the price stable? Are there any massive dips? Is there anything on this graph which you should be wary about? Then you want to check if Amazon is on the listing. Can you compete with them? And do you want to compete with them? Then you want to use SellerAmp. Are there any IP issues or any restrictions which you need to know about? Lastly, you want to sort out your sourcing criteria. What sort of criteria do you want when you're looking for these deals? Do you want, for example, minimum 30% ROI, 50 sales per month, and minimum of £2 profit per deal? Or how would you want this to look? For me, if I was just getting started, I would always go for a minimum of 30% ROI. You don't want to go much lower than that. Roughly 50 sales per month. Sometimes you can dip below that depending on how many other sellers are on the listing. And in terms of profit per unit, anything from sort of £1 plus would be more than doable for me, because you need to think this is a volume game, and the more volume you can push through, the more money you're going to make. Step 4, prep and send. So eventually you'll be able to use a prep center if you want to outsource and become a bit more hands-off. But while you're doing this for yourself, you need to make sure you label your products correctly, or you can pay for Amazon's label service to do it for you. But to be honest, I would just do this yourself. It is a pretty simple, easy task, and there's no point letting Amazon do this for you. Even though I think it's only about 15p, it's still no point wasting 15p per unit for them to do something which you can do just as easily yourself. When you ship your products, you need to make sure you have the correct documentation. And what I mean by this is invoices. You are probably going to get sick of me telling you this, just like Keeper, but invoices are so key. You need to make sure you have all your invoices in place for whatever products you purchase, and you need to have a decent record of where all these invoices are. They are so important when you're selling on Amazon, to have proof of your supply chain. The 5th and final step. So you want to make sure you track your profit and reinvest everything back into your business. So you want to make sure you use tools like Seller Board or Seller Toolkit. These tools tell you exactly how much money you're making from every single sale, and they also help to track and manage your inventory, so they can tell you exactly how much stock you've got in Amazon at any given time. There is so much functionality in these tools, and they will make your life a lot easier, and in the grand scheme of things, they are relatively inexpensive. Then lastly, you want to make sure you reinvest all of your money back into your business. This is going to help you grow and scale much quicker, and it'll be a lot easier. I didn't take any money out of my business until after the first year when I decided to go full-time. Let's go through some of the most common mistakes and how you can avoid them. Number one is not using Keeper. I told you, you're going to get sick of me saying this, but believe it or not, some sellers these days still don't use Keeper, and if you're not, you are buying blind. What could be a really good sale price today means absolutely nothing if tomorrow it completely crashes, and Keeper can help you understand that. I still see so many sellers flexing all of these amazing deals they are finding, but the sale price is completely unrealistic, and when they do buy these products and they eventually check into Amazon, they are going to be in for a big shock because they will not be selling them for what they think they are selling them for. But when they do buy these products and get them checked into Amazon, they are going to be in for a big shock because they will not be selling them for what they thought they were going to be. Now they have tied up time and money, which could have all been avoided had they just checked a Keeper graph. There are so many tools in Keeper which are massively slept on. Mistake number two is blindly trusting just BuyBot Pro or just SellerAmp. Whilst these tools are very good and a must-have, they are only estimates. They are not 100% factual. So you need to make sure you use these tools along with something else like Keeper to give you a better understanding of how the listing is looking. Between the two of them, they can both give you a really good idea whether a certain brand is to be avoided or a certain listing is to be avoided as well. So make sure you're using them both together and not just BuyBot Pro or SellerAmp on its own. Keeper is just as good at telling you the sales per month as SellerAmp or BuyBot Pro is as well. Mistake number three, not checking gating, IP issues or product feedback. Detailed analysis is so important when you're looking for stock to buy. You need to make sure you are checking if there are any IP issues, if there are any brand restrictions, and what the product feedback is. So make sure you are checking SellerAmp or BuyBot Pro along with something like Keeper, because they can really tell you if there are any restrictions on this listing. And to do this, you need to make sure you link up your Amazon Seller Central account with your SellerAmp account as well, because this is going to give you live data on your restrictions and your gating. And if you really want to double check and you want to see if you can sell a product, grab the ASIN, try and add it to your inventory in Seller Central and see if you are able to. This is going to very quickly tell you if you are gated or if this listing is restricted, or if you can just sell the product, which would be great. Then lastly, you want to check the product feedback as well. And this is very important, because if you're looking at a product you want to buy, but the feedback on Amazon is say 3 out of 5 stars, then the product probably isn't the best and it will come with lots of returns. So you need to understand this when you're making your buying decisions. Do you have enough margin worked in this product in order to swallow a few of the returns? And likewise, if you see a product which is say 5 star out of 5 star, it's going to be pretty good and the returns are going to be far less. So make sure you're looking at your product feedback and seeing exactly what the reviews are saying and how likely a return for this product is going to be, because there can be a lot of leakage when it comes to returns and it can eat into your business. So you want to be on top of it. Mistake number 4 is scaling without systems in place. So when you first start, you want to start pretty slow, because you want to get a real good understanding of the business, how it works, and if this is even the right business for you. And then when you start to get a bit more confident, you can start adding systems in place and SOPs in place. And these are going to make scaling and growing much easier and much quicker when you've got these types of things in place. Then eventually, when you get super confident and you want to start outsourcing a bit more, you can then start adding VAs and prep centers to the mix. But you do not want to outsource too early, because they eat up a lot of capital, which could be better off buying stock in the early days. And then finally, mistake number 5 is that online arbitrage is passive income. It is not. It is far from passive income. Ignore any of the gurus you see online telling you this is passive income, make money while you sleep, blah, 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 because it really is not. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time when you first start to get this business running. Eventually, you can start outsourcing bits like prep and sourcing, and you can semi-automate it, but it is still a lot of work, and it is definitely not a hands-off passive income business. Here are some of my pro tips and best practices. Number one is track everything, and I mean everything. You'll want to track all of your daily deals, everything you find, all of your ROIs, your profits, your top retailers, and anything to do with your gating as well. And here at Seller Smart, we have created the ultimate purchasing sheet, which tracks all of this and much, much more. And of course, it is free of charge. I have dropped the link in the bio below, so if you want to download this, grab that now, because it can help you and save you so much time and give you so much information. Number two is utilizing discounted gift cards. I said this before, when you're buying products to sell on Amazon, you need to make sure you're buying for the best possible price, and by utilizing these gift cards, it is going to help you do that. Again, we have teamed up with one of the best discounted gift card suppliers, so check out Seller Smart, jump in the Discord and check out our gift card supplier, because you can buy gift cards, for example, from John Lewis at a 7% discount. So this can be huge when you're adding this to your deal, because that is 7% less than what other people could potentially be buying the product for, which could make or break a deal. And then number three, which goes along with the gift cards, is stacking discounts as much as possible. So as well as gift cards, you want to make sure you're stacking all the discount codes, any coupon codes, any cashback. So you want to make sure you have all these Chrome extensions installed, whether it's Coupon Birds, Cooper, Honey, anything like that, which is going to give you coupon codes, and it will automatically populate these in your checkout field. And also top cashback or complete savings as well, because the more cashback, the more discount you can get, the better your products are going to be, and the cheaper they're going to be, and the more competitive you're going to be. And lastly, record everything. And when I say record everything, I mean invoices. Make sure you have all of these saved and recorded. Likewise, any tracking numbers, any delivery information, anything like that. And you want to make sure these are all saved and recorded nicely in an email account. So make sure you have set out all loads of different folders, so you can easily track if something isn't being delivered by checking the tracking numbers and so on and so forth. So having a nice and tidy inbox is very, very beneficial when it comes to finding this information later. So lastly, as a last little practical task for you, jump on any sites like Argos, go to the clearance section, filter that by highest percentage, and see if you can find free profitable deals. Run them through Keeper, run them through Selleram, and drop them in the comments below, and I can give you my feedback on whether they are good or bad deals. But remember, make sure you're using your Chrome extensions like Top Cashback or Coupon Birds to get that extra little bit of discount off of your products. Now, most sellers who are doing online arbitrage today are playing by 2020 rules, and that is why they're failing. Online arbitrage is very much still alive and kicking, and can be a very, very profitable business. But you need to have the right tools and systems and the right expectations in place in order to succeed in this business model. Avoiding mistakes is half the battle, but start building smarter with Seller Smart. Like and subscribe, and comment any of your mistakes or problems you've got down below, and I'll be responding to every single one of them.